Kevin Ogle, along with Mike Turpin and Kirk Humphreys.
Good morning and welcome to Flashpoint. Our guest on the big program today, right now, may be the highest profile politician in the state of Oklahoma. Not all of it for the reasons she wants, but she says she's ready to take it all on and talk about it. Our guest today is State School Superintendent Janet Barresi, back on the big program today. And we have Janet here because she's been answering a lot of questions about the A to F grading system where schools are getting. Some of them like it, some of them hate it. So, again, kind of a lightning rod right now. We're going to talk to Janet about this system. Before we do that, let's get a look at what it was like the day the grades came out. Our Shelley Mills reported on this. Let's take a look and listen.
This past week,
they love their school. That the F label is not an accurate depiction of what happens at their school.
Jace Kirk is a parent of 4 kids, all who attend Santa Fe South. 2 of them at a school which, according to the state report cards, scored an F.
There isn't a harder working or better cohort of teachers anywhere that I've worked with in 20 years in education than my elementary school.
Chris Brewster is the superintendent at Santa Fe South. He says the high school and middle school improved over last year's scores, while the elementary school dropped a grade. He says he's all for accountability, but he's not convinced this grading system is an accurate picture of a school's success.
If we receive straight A's, we would also say we don't believe that to be an accurate indication by this metric of the strength of their schools.
Officials with the Oklahoma Education Association agree, saying this system unfairly labels children in our state as a failure or a success.
If you have a child that's done their very best and then their school gets a D or an F and they read that in the paper, they transfer that, they internalize it, and they think, well, then I'm a failure.
Kirk says there's more to a school than these grades show. He encourages other parents to educate themselves.
Be in your child's school, be involved, know what goes on there, know what takes place, and take some time to read this A to F report and really understand or try to understand how they come up with these grades.
All right, that's what it was like at one school. This is kind of a microcosm of the whole grading system. You heard a parent that said other parents need to get involved. A lot of it starts at home. We know this. But the OEA, Oklahoma Education Association, not happy with your system. You know that. You've addressed that on Friday of this week. They gave you an F. In the State Department of Education, not so much the department, but the superintendent. Address that for us right now.
You know, if they're complaining, that means I'm doing my job. The education establishment, together with the unions, are really focused on other things and not on the children of the state. We've lost a generation of children. That's what I'm focused on, is improving education for the children of the state. I'm not going to let something like a union stop me from doing that. I'm determined to move forward.
But Janet, shouldn't you, as the state school superintendent, be able to get along with these large teachers' unions?
You know, there's a lot of work we're doing and focusing on teachers. This is about supporting teachers within their classrooms. I've got over 320 teachers in different teacher working groups advising us on different policy issues. We engage with them a lot. We do a lot to support teachers, too, in training.
Janet, it's hard to change a system that's been in place for a long time. Talk about some things you've seen that work out there.
Oh, I'll tell you, there's a lot of great stories. I always tell people I see a miracle a day. There's a lot changing in the area of reading and reading instruction, new innovations, a lot going on in digital learning and bringing really the world to the classrooms and focusing on individual students through technology. We've got a lot going on in science, developing new standards. Those will be out soon every day. Got a brand new initiative in the state. The National Math and Science Initiative is in many of our high schools, very focused on AP courses. We've got a big need for STEM careers in the state.
STEM means?
Science, technology, engineering, and math. Thank you. And want to really ramp that up.
Some and call it STEAM.
Absolutely. For the arts, for creativity. You're absolutely right.
would you tell the viewers about the Student Performance Index, the Student Growth Index, and bonus points? I just itemized all the criteria for this A to F grading system. Yes, That's what it's based on?
Right. The grade card is based, 50% of it is based on student achievement in the 4 core subjects in English and math, science, and social studies. And then 25% of it is based on the growth of students over the year. And then the other 25% is growth of the lowest performing students in math and in English.
How do you get the bonus points?
Bonus points are based on things like attendance in high schools, about the number of students enrolled in AP courses or in concurrent enrollment with our colleges. There's a lot of opportunities to get bonus points.
Janet,
Before we get to it, let me just ask this, because looking at that story, we saw the OAA officials say when the kids see their school get an F, they transfer it to themselves and say, like, they're not doing well either. Is that a worthy argument, and how do you keep that from happening? Oh, my school's an F. Maybe I'm not getting very smart either.
You know, attitude and performance is based on leadership within a school. And I can tell you, when teachers are in there and being positive, as they usually are with kids, and focusing them on continual improvement, the kids pick that up more so than something that they might read in the paper.
There's a story here in the headlines that obviously you guys will see where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I already know where you're going.
It's called this is Friday's Oklahoma, though. It's front page. It says turnaround complete. U.S. grant raises grade from C to B+, 1 point from an
Mike,
A.
it ain't bragging if you done it. Now, you can't say that and get a good score.
Now, in the interest of full disclosure here, your wife, a wonderful, wonderful woman, is also a teacher out there.
Yes, U.S. grant. But I was going to ask you about U.S. grant at Pierce Elementary and in Tammy Sanders.
And I say U.S. grant, I think, is one of the most challenging environments in Oklahoma City. It's the largest high school in Oklahoma City, and it's heavily Hispanic speaking, a lot of English as a second language. Tough population to deal with, and a lot of people use those as excuses.
You know, it really isn't about poverty. Poverty is just a component of some of the challenges. It's more not about whether or not students are prepared. And they have focused on that at U.S. Grant. Many congratulations to the faculty and the principal and the students of that school. Lots of hard work has gone into improving that school.
Talk about Tammy Sanders and Dave Lopez real quick, the leaders now for the education system in Oklahoma City.
Well, Tammy Sanders was there during most of the time of that
turnaround at Grant.
The turnaround at Grant, and she's now has been promoted within the district and is doing well. Appreciate the work of Dave Lopez, completely all in for that district and is focused on what he can do. Showed great leadership with his statement about the grade card. It's like it is what it is, but we're going to bear down here and we're going to turn some things around.
Let me one more thing I want to get in here. I'm sorry, Kurt.
Yeah.
Speaking of school districts, Broken Arrow School District, the superintendent there is organizing a no confidence vote against you, Superintendent Barresi. I know you've heard of it. I know you've addressed it, and I know how you want to respond to it. But go ahead and tell us on Flashpoint how you feel about that. And what is your relationship? That's a big school district, Broken Arrow.
Sure. You know, I that was really very politically motivated, and I think all of it was, look, if he puts as much effort into improving education for the kids in his district as he did on this, I think they're going to be great, as a matter of fact.
Jan, what do you say to parents who aren't happy with the grade that their school got? What should they do?
Well, you know, the parent that was in the introductory piece, he made a very good point. It is go into your school, talk to your teacher, talk to your principal, and really get a well-rounded idea of what's going on in that school. What's happening with these grade cards is it's getting parents and community people to get involved, and their conversation is starting. That's very important, and I agree with him. Get in there and find out.
So much of it starts at home, let's face it.
Absolutely.
It really does. But what about those lower, I don't mean to be indelicate, but the lower socioeconomic areas where maybe they're in a single-parent home, where the mother works all the time, is dead tired when she comes home, where the dad does, or they're living with grandparents. Is this grading formula fair for those kinds of schools?
You know, we are cognizant of that. There's parents that work 3 jobs just to put food on the table and to keep their home going, and we understand that. And that's why Governor Fallon said, hey, show me a list of all of the schools that are at or above the state's poverty level, and those schools that have performed above the state average in English and in math. She said, send me the list. I was pleased to send her a great big list. And she said, all right, let's do a grant, a competitive grant, to where we can reward those schools and help them partner with schools that are struggling. I love the idea, and I hope we have the opportunity to do it.
The A to F system is brand new. They did it last year, they did it this year. It's only 2 years old, fair?
Right.
Okay, I saw where you said the system is still flawed to a certain extent. Is that fair? What do we do to, what do we do to fix it?
We're always looking for ways to continually improve everything we're doing, and we're willing to take input on that. The law was changed last year at the request of superintendents, and so they changed the law. So the formula is very, very different, and we also raised the bar on our tests. We said we were going to raise the bar on our standards, and we raised the bar on the tests. So we've got more A's, but it was much harder to get an A this year.
Okay.
Janet, next year's an election year. You running for re-election?
Absolutely.
Do you have some opponents that you don't have to name them, but there's some folks going to run against you?
Yes.
I've known you a long time. I've never seen you back up from a good tussle. So
no, it has absolutely been an honor to be state superintendent. This is the hardest fun I've ever had.
The hardest fun you ever had.
Okay, you have twin boys. What are they doing?
Oh, I'm just so proud of my boys. One of them is a commercial property developer and is getting ready to open an establishment. And Ben is running our small oil company in Oklahoma. I'm just so proud of both of them.
And you have professional help here in the studio with you today. Who's this guy?
That's Phil Backrack,
Where'd he go?
who's my new communications director.
Bill is a longtime fixture
He is.
on the media and political scene here. Does a terrific job.
Fantastic.
He hit the ground running with Jenna
He
Barresi.
is,
Excited to have
he's one of the best.
Yes.
Never afraid to answer any tough questions. We appreciate it, Superintendent Barresi.
Thank you.
And come back again, and when things change or whenever you have something you think people need to know.
Absolutely.
And we'd love to hear from you again.
Appreciate the opportunity.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. When we come back, we're going to be talking